Welcome back. Had a heck of a time trying to set this camera up to record this, but this is going to be a series hopefully throughout the month of December of me solving my advent calendar. This is the first one of the Exit the Game advent calendars that I've ever bought. I know that they've done other similar styles over the years. This is this year's. The Missing Hollywood Star. It's supposed to be that you solve a puzzle every single day. Or solve a riddle, and there are like doors that you open in order to figure it out. Now, I am going to go over every single part of this. So that means this may be a little long. So if this is not your thing, feel free to skedaddle. I completely understand. I, however, love puzzles, and I love solving like riddles and escape games and logic puzzles and brain games. All of that is my jam. I love it. So I've watched people solve stuff like this. I have not watched anyone solve this. I have tried not to, but I definitely am being heavily influenced by like Dr. Gareth Moore and like Gab Smulders, her like secondary channel that's called like Goobus or something, where she has solved an Exit the Game like solo thing before. Very heavily inspired by them, and that's what I'm doing. So like I said, this is probably gonna be long, especially because this is the first. I'm gonna go through all of the stuff in here and solve it. So let's do this. So first off, immediately, it's a huge box. We've got things under the lid. We've got like security cameras looking things, a letter, a note. We've got some codes here. We definitely have stuff, but we're gonna start here like it says to do. Advent calendar, help book and instructions. Start by reading here. Attention, don't examine any game material yet. Whoops, i.e. the storybook, the decoder table, the pictures, etc. First, read the game instructions and follow the instructions you are given. At the back of this book, you will find the help section. You won't need it until later in the game. Cool. So let's dive right. We immediately have room for notes and this. So our decoder table, but I'm going to put that down for now. Advent calendar, the Missing Hollywood Star. What's the game about? You are delivering pizzas to one of the most famous film studios in Hollywood. Filming should be in full swing here, but it seems the star of the Christmas blockbuster has disappeared. Your only clue is a spooky track in the artificial snow. Do you have the courage to follow it? In order to find the missing star, you face one of the 24 challenging riddles every day. The correct solution tells you where to continue the next day. Important, before you start the game, do not take a closer look at any of the game materials and do not open any of the doors. Wait until the game prompts you to do so in the text. First, read these instructions carefully. Cool. Game materials. 1, storybook. Your day is narrated day by day, which is this guy. 1, help book with instructions. You can find help here if you get stuck, which is this guy that we're reading out of. 1 decoder table, including the 3 decoder strips. We've got our table with the strips. Secret additional material for the riddles hidden behind the 24 doors of the advent calendar. Okay. And these can be ripped out, but I'm not going to do that currently. Game setup. Before you can start, you need to prepare the decoder table. Take a pair of scissors and carefully cut the 3 decoder strips shown on the board along the dotted lines. I guess I can do that whilst I read the next instructions. Now you thread. That's funny. You can't cut strips and read at the same time because then you'll cut the wrong thing. That's... Ugh. That's the red one. I wonder if it matters one of the days that there are screws on some of the numbers. There's the blue one, and now we need to do the yellow one. You know, I use scissors every single day at my job. I should be better at this. But under pressure, I'm being watched. Okay. Now you thread the 3 decoder strips horizontally through the holes in the decoder table exactly as shown here. The red one above, the blue in the middle, and yellow below. Warning, it is important that you place the strips in exactly that order. Make sure you have not got them mixed up, otherwise you can't solve the riddles. Oh gosh, okay. The numbers are now visible through the middle holes on the front of the decoder table. Okay. Blue goes in the middle. On the back, well, hang on. You will see a direction arrow on each decoder strip as well as an exit symbol. Well, right now I'm just sticking them in right side up, but I believe you. Only pay attention to the arrows and exit symbols, which are exactly in the middle, one below the other. The decoder table is now ready for use. Put it with the storybook on the table. So theoretically, you've got it all lined up, and then you flip it over, and we will get some arrows and symbols. Okay. Additional game materials. You will also need pens, preferably a ballpoint, a black waterproof pen, and a pencil. I've got a Sharpie. I've got a pen. I do not have a pencil currently, but I believe I've got one up here, so that's not that big a deal. I can get one. A pair of scissors, yep. A strong light or a mobile phone with flashlight function, okay. And if necessary, paper for notes. You will find everything else you need behind the doors of the advent calendar. Cool. Where is the game board? In this game, the advent calendar itself is the game board. In addition, there is the storybook, and there you will find out exactly what has happened, and you will find an introductory chapter every day that tells the story. Other than that, you have nothing else available to you at the beginning of the game. Solve the riddle step by step. Do the following every day. 1. Carefully separate the current calendar sheet at the perforated line from the storybook. You can find the date at the top of the relevant sheet. 2. Read the introductory chapter. 3. Open the next door as soon as you are prompted to do so in the text. Behind it you will find various things to help you solve the riddle of the day. That might be riddle cards and various strange items or objects. 4. Solve the riddle. Usually you can and must use everything that you find in the room or storybook for that day. This is the only way to solve the current riddle. Okay, stop. Attention. To solve the riddles, you can label, fold, cut up. Everything is allowed and sometimes even necessary. Keep all of the game materials until you have completed the last day of the advent calendar. Do not throw anything away. You may have to use it again. Only ever read the current calendar sheet. Only read the next one when you are ready to start the next riddle. How do you know which door to go to next? Don't be surprised that the doors on your calendar aren't numbered. Only the first door is labeled. To find the missing Hollywood star, you solve riddles on your way from door to door. The solution to the current riddle shows you where to go the next day. It works like this. The solution to every riddle is always a 3-digit code. The numeric code is entered using the 3 decoder strips on the decoder table. Always ensure you have the numbers in the right order. Have you entered the code? Then turn the decoder table over carefully without moving the strips. Now look at the back of the decoder table so that you can read the text and the camera is not upside down. Okay, now you should see 3 direction arrows in the white marked area. Ah, yes, got it. These 3 direction arrows show you the way to the next door. Your starting point is always your current door. From there, you follow the arrows from one door to the next. If you have followed all 3 directions exactly, you will arrive at your target door. Next, you check whether it is the right one. Example, the solution to your current riddle is 533. You put this code in the decoder table and turn it over. On the back, you will find the direction arrows left, top left, down. If your code is correct, you will find the door for the next day. You can now check whether this is the correct door. Note, the arrows never lead you over the edge of the advent calendar. Should a directional instruction lead you beyond the edge of the advent calendar, your solution code was probably incorrect. Good to know. Have you found the correct door? To check this, compare the 3 exit symbols on the target door with the 3 exit symbols on your decoder table. Do the exit symbols not match? Then check your directions one more time. Have you followed the directions from your current door to the next door exactly? If so, then your solution code is likely to be incorrect. Look at the riddle again. Did you miss something? If you get stuck, don't despair. Take a look in the help book. For every riddle, you find hints there which will help you. You can find an explanation of how to use the help system below. Do the exit symbols match? Then you have solved the riddle correctly and you have reached the next door. Write the next day's date in the space below. The next day's date in the space on the new door. Tomorrow you will start your next riddle here, but only after you have finished reading the next chapter in the storybook. Example. You have solved the first day's riddle. You enter the solution code and follow the direction arrows on the decoder table. At the destination door, you compare the exit symbols on the new door with those on the decoder table. They match, so you put a 2 in the empty area of the target door. Stop! Important! You have to solve the riddles in order. That means you may only continue with the next riddle when you open the door if you've cracked the previous day's code and the game allows you to do so in the text. All codes are to be deciphered logically, so it's not about just trying out every possible combination on the decoder table. Don't forget to label the next door. That's the only way to know where to start the following day. Need help? If you get stuck, the game can help you. In the pages after these instructions, you will find that each day has its own help sheet. You will find 3 pointers that will help you solve the problem. Would you like to use some help? Then look for the help sheet with the appropriate date in the help book. Now fold the lower edge of the sheet to the corresponding marks above it. The respective text should now be visible. Each first clue, so I guess yellow, tells you what you need in order to be able to solve the riddle and gives you an initial useful clue. The second clue, blue, will give you more concrete assistance in finding a solution to the riddle. The solution, the red, will give you the answer and the correct code for the riddle. Don't be afraid to use help sheets if you get stuck. We're almost there. Note, all components of this game have been designed and packaged with care. Should the cards and strange items in a room get mixed up, you can find a refill guide for the advent calendar at this website. This shows you where the individual components belong. It is best for the calendar contents to be sorted by someone who is not involved in the game. Then you can continue to play the game without spoilers. Please note the advent calendar is full of a variety of riddles. So that they all work, each copy has to be assembled individually by hand. Even though this is done extremely carefully and with strict quality controls, errors can unfortunately occur. It is unusual, but if you should find a piece missing, please contact this email and we will try our best to get you back on track as soon as possible. When does the game end? The game ends when you have solved the last riddle and solved the mystery of the missing Hollywood star. A hint will let you know. Then you may read the closing chapter in the storybook. The game begins. What are you waiting for? Here we go. Take the storybook, turn to the first page, and start reading the prologue. The first riddle starts on the calendar sheet marked 1st December. We wish you lots of fun with Exit the Game, Advent Calendar, The Missing Hollywood Star. Okay, and so then this is an example of like the help. So if you want a first clue, you will just fold it up to this line. Then if you wanted the second, you kept going, and if you want the solution, you go all the way, which I don't want, so like you might have seen it, but I did not. And they've like, it said like there's one for every single day. And there's stuff on the back that's like movie quotes that are wrong. So we have like pasta or pizza baby, 20% off bargains in aisle 10. Always ask the bill payer's permission before calling. No table snacks while playing. Sometimes the cookie crumbles. We've got our decoder. And then our storybook, and it also has stuff. Life is like a snack preview. You never know what you're gonna get. Yippee ya yay, Moxie, Foxy Mucker. You are adopted Luke, and I carried half a watermelon. Okay. All right, here we go. Attention. Don't examine any game material yet. This book, the decoder table, the pictures, etc. First read the game instructions and the help book and follow the instructions you're given. We did that. Storybook. Stop. Only continue reading here if you've been instructed to do so. We are ready. So here we go. Introduction. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Belts out from the radio as you drive your pizza delivery car through the festively decorated streets of Los Angeles. The traffic is worse than usual, and that's saying something. It seems as if the entire city is out on the roads. Maybe early Christmas shoppers. As you are driving at a snail's pace, you have time to take in the roadside scenery. 2 children press their noses flat against the window of a board game shop. A store Santa rings his golden bell on a street corner in shorts. Nothing unusual about that when it is 20 degrees Celsius in the shade. You've been living in California for a while now, but you are still not quite used to the climate. I don't know what 20 degrees Celsius is in Fahrenheit, but if you do, good for you. Also, take a drink. I am drinking a sparkling water tonight. I'm gonna need it. This is the flavor Blue Raspberry. When you arrived in Los Angeles a few years ago, you were full of big dreams. Hollywood, world of the stars, birthplace of enchanting illusions and timeless classics. Your future path was always clear to you, and full of enthusiasm, you jumped straight in. Tirelessly, you took part in one casting call after another, deeply convinced that one day someone would recognize your acting talent and give you the chance of a lifetime. You laughed bitterly. Well, that one day is yet to happen, and casting directors don't seem to see your talent the way you do. Anyway, as the perfect role has so far eluded you, you keep your head above water like so many others by working odd jobs. The reason you are reminiscing so much about your acting dreams today has to do with your next delivery destination. You have to admit, when the pizza order came in, your heart did skip a beat. A delivery to the Warner Sisters studio of all places? Like Warner Brothers, but Warner Sisters. How exciting! Everyone in Los Angeles knows the address of this legendary film studio. Best-selling international blockbusters are regularly produced here, with all-star casts. That's not all. The extensive grounds also serve as a kind of film museum. It is the home to sets of all-time classic films, including lots of original props. You have visited the Warner Sister Studios for casting calls once or twice. Even if nothing came of it at the time, you at least know the area a little and are able to find the correct set pretty much right away. The entrance gate is half open and a large sign hangs on the door. Absolute silence. Filming. Below it, someone has pinned a handwritten note. Please put pizza next to the director's chair. Money will be transferred. You realize you had a delusional hope of being able to speak to someone here, maybe to get an autograph or at least see a few celebs. You enter the set and are surprised to find that it is deserted, or at least filming is not currently taking place. They must be on a break. You look around curiously. The scenery indicates a remake of a classic in the style of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. A historic-looking street with a cozy old pub is fronted by a huge, festively decorated Christmas tree. Artificial snow is falling everywhere. Someone must have forgotten to turn off the machines. Even though you know this is just a set, you can't help but be filled with Christmas spirit. The set designers have done a really great job. However, the fact that the place is deserted seems strange to you. Even when there's a break, there should still be umpteen people scurrying around checking camera angles and lights, getting props ready, giving final instructions to the cast. Shrugging, you place the pizza boxes as requested, next to the director's chair. Suddenly, the gate closes behind you with a dull bang and you hear the lock click shut. You look around startled. You are definitely uneasy. Maybe you'd better get out of here. You are just about to leave when you hear a strange, tinny voice speak hesitantly over the loudspeakers. Hello? Can you hear me? Good. Okay, listen. You have to trust me. We have very little time. I have a huge favor to ask of you. Confused, you look around. Do they mean you? The voice sounds distorted, yet somehow familiar to you. Is it a famous actor or director? After all, this would be the obvious place to meet a star. You listen spellbound and try to remember when and where you have heard the voice before. So there's a huge problem, the person continues. We are in the middle of shooting a new Christmas blockbuster, but it looks like the main character is missing. They seem to have disappeared. Nobody knows what has happened to them. Maybe we should assume the worst. It's quite possible that our star has been kidnapped and is being held against their will somewhere. One thing is certain, though. The voice breaks off briefly, as if they can't believe what they are going to say next. You've got to help. Do you understand? Most likely the missing star is still somewhere on site. Search the film sets and bring them back in time or the Christmas movie will be ruined at the very least. Completely dumbfounded, you sink into the director's chair. Oh yes, adds the voice. Rather annoyingly, you'll find the doors to the film sets are locked for security reasons. However, there are clues in each room to help you figure out the door codes. Good luck! You exhale audibly. Then the loudspeaker crackles one last time. Ooh, feel free to grab a pizza. You'll need it. On the house. Then the connection finally breaks off. You can hardly believe what you just heard, and believe even less that this news was actually meant for you. There must be some mix-up. Perhaps you are just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you should get out of here, hop in your pizza delivery car, and drive off. Then again, there is nobody here but you. So if there is actually a real problem, then the responsibility now lies with you. Maybe you should help. You ponder. Your pizza shift is over anyway. This was your last delivery for today. You think about what awaits you at home. A small, drab apartment and a boring evening on the couch. What's happening here, on the other hand, feels like an adventure. Obviously, the chance to look around different film sets is also extremely tempting. Looking around the set again, you suddenly spot footprints in the artificial snow. Were those there before? The footprints look huge. Who or whatever passed through here must be very large. Your gaze follows the prints to the back wall of the Christmas backdrop. What on earth is that? There's an enormous hole in it. Something must have broken through there with considerable force. Did this creature maybe abduct the star? Gosh, then they really would be in great danger. Given the damage to the backdrop, you doubt the perpetrator would handle people very gently. You rise resolutely from the director's chair, quickly put one of the pizzas into your backpack, and head toward the hole in the wall. You need to rescue the missing star. Of that you are in no doubt. Are you ready? Continue reading the calendar sheet, 1st December, and begin the first riddle. Okay, here we go. I need another drink. I think my camera has been slowly falling this entire time. All right, here we go. And it does say to carefully tear out the calendar sheet before beginning. So, and yes, I know today is the 7th of December, but like I mentioned, we did get our advent calendars late this year, and then I put off solving it because I knew I wanted to film. So here we go. With a feeling of slight unease, you climb through the hole in the studio wall. Hello, is anyone there? You call out timidly, but the set seems deserted. Nobody answers. You can hardly see anything. The room is lit weakly by emergency lights, but you spot a shining flashlight on the floor. It seems someone has left it behind. You quickly pick it up. It could come in handy. Okay, so we have a flashlight. You look around and see floor-to-ceiling shelves full of film rolls. Wow. If you are not mistaken, you are in the legendary Warner Sisters studio archives. If only you had a little more time. It would be amazing to browse here in peace. Of course, that's out of the question at the moment. By the glow of the flashlight, you discover several rolls of film lying around on the floor. Some rolls are stacked in teetering towers. Some seem to have been randomly pulled off the shelves and distributed around the room. Someone or something either stormed through here in a hurry or was looking for something. You can't shake the feeling that the rolls of film lying around have some meaning, as if someone was desperately trying to leave a clue or some kind of trail. Was it the missing star? Now open door 1. Behind you will find 5 strange items, film reels, and then we have this is an example. A Christmas Carol has a 6 and a symbol, like a shooting star. And nothing on the back. Okay. This is our number 1. Now, this one did get pushed in partially on accident. My cat walked across this, which is annoying. Ooh, it's firm. Okay. I don't think you can see very well in there. There's a glare, but it is like a towering pile, like an aisle of film reels. And there's our flashlight. Ooh. What is that? And why is that? That's got a T on it and arrows. Ooh, I don't think this matters today, but I bet that comes into play later. What is that? Ooh, it's a hint. So that little piece of paper in there says code, and it's like a stack. It's a stack of these. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Let's pop these out. Okay, said don't throw anything away. Okay, I'm not gonna, even though I don't understand what this would be used for, but I'm not gonna. Okay, so the code had them stacked up from largest to tallest. So we have the birds, and then Robin Hood, Thor, Batman, and Exit the Film. Oh, and look, it's got that, it matches that. So am I, ooh, okay. Am I matching them up to make a pattern on the outside of it? Sorry, I realized I was like off screen so you couldn't see what I was doing. I mean, that doesn't match. And there's nothing else. Oh, okay. That's lined up. Oh, there's multiple. Okay, that matches. Okay, that matches. Okay, that matches, and I've made that symbol. But then, what is the point of... Oh! Oh, hang on, I'm getting it. If we make the symbols, right? Oh, this is clever. I realize my head's probably going to be in the way, and you're not going to see this part, but just trust me. Okay, so we have the symbol for the first one that was on the first one. We have a Batman symbol, and then we've got like a bird symbol. Okay, so Christmas Carol is 6. The bird is 8. And then Batman is 4. Okay. Okay, and on the piece of paper in here that says code and there's the tower, the arrow is pointing up. So I think it goes from the bottom up. So 6, 8, 4. Six, 8, 4. This is very exciting. 6, 8, 4. Don't disturb it. Flip it over. Okay. Where this is our door, if we're right, it goes bottom right, to the right, to the right, and we should have a star, a Y, and a circle, which we do. Oh, that's exciting. Okay. So that should be tomorrow. That was an unnecessary adrenaline rush. So I'm going to leave that here. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you come back for tomorrow. And I think it'll be a lot shorter. But this is fun. I'm really, really excited. I'll see ya.